This is General Katar of the Xalorian Fleet. Our crew is succumbing to a mysterious illness. We request immediate medical assistance. Human assistance. Dr. Emily Wong slammed her coffee down, eyes narrowing. A stranded alien fleet calling humans for help? They must be desperate. Ian, gear up. We're about to make history. Dr. Emily Wong was deeply engrossed in her research aboard the medical ship Horizon when an urgent alert flashed on her screen. A distress signal from the Xalorian Fleet, stranded on a desolate moon, detailed a deadly and unknown illness ravaging their crew. Without hesitation, Dr. Wong called her team to action, her voice firm and decisive. Nurse Hayes, gear up. We have a mission. As they approached the moon, the desolate landscape came into view, a harsh and unforgiving terrain. The Horizon landed, and they were immediately met by General Katar, a towering figure with a face set in a stern scowl. His distrust was palpable. We didn't expect humans to respond, Katar said, his voice cold and skeptical. We're here to help, Dr. Wong replied firmly. Time is of the essence. Show us to your sick. Katar hesitated but then led them to the medical bay. The sight was grim rows of aliens lay in makeshift beds, their conditions deteriorating rapidly. Dr. Wong wasted no time, setting up her equipment and beginning her examination. Nurse Ian Hayes moved through the room, offering comfort and care. His gentle demeanor helped break down initial barriers of mistrust. He knelt beside a young alien, speaking softly. We're going to help you, just hold on. Dr. Wong analyzed the data streaming from her scanner, her mind racing through possible causes. This pathogen is unlike anything we've encountered, she murmured, frowning at the readings. General Katar loomed over her. You better have a solution, human. My crew depends on it. Dr. Wong met his gaze steadily. We'll do everything we can, General. The team set up a temporary lab, working around the clock to identify the pathogen. The mood in the camp was tense, filled with uncertainty. General Katar's presence was a constant reminder of the stakes. Days blurred together as Dr. Wong and her team pushed their limits. The pathogen proved elusive, resisting their initial treatments. Frustration and exhaustion crept in, but giving up was not an option. During a brief break, Nurse Hayes sat with a group of aliens, listening to their stories. Tell me about your home, he said, his voice a soothing balm. These interactions not only fostered trust, but provided crucial insights into the aliens' biology and cultural context. General Katar confronted Dr. Wong again. What do you really know about us? Not enough yet, she admitted, but we're learning. This illness is a hybrid strain, thriving in this moon's unique atmosphere. We need your cooperation to save lives. Reluctantly, Katar provided more information about their crew's medical history and environmental conditions. This data proved vital. Dr. Wong discovered that the pathogen was a hybrid bacterium, combining elements from the moon's atmosphere with alien biology. She worked tirelessly, piecing together a potential treatment. General Katar's skepticism never fully abated. Are you sure this will work? Dr. Wong's eyes were resolute. It has to. By the end of the week, they had a breakthrough. The initial treatment showed promise, stabilizing the most critical patients. The sense of relief was palpable, but the work was far from over. We're on the right path, she said quietly to herself. We can do this. Dr. Emily Wong and her team had set up a temporary lab, their focus unwavering as they worked tirelessly to identify the mysterious pathogen. Each passing hour was a race against time. The mood in the camp grew increasingly tense, and the pressure was mounting. General Katar's distrust was a constant shadow, his stern eyes following their every move. In the midst of this, Nurse Ian Hayes dedicated himself to building rapport with the alien crew. His gentle touch and calming words provided much-needed comfort. He sat with a patient, a young Xalorian, and asked, "Tell me about your home. What's it like?" The alien's eyes softened as he described vibrant forests and crystalline rivers. These conversations not only eased their fears but also provided crucial insights into their physiology and environment. Meanwhile, Dr. Wong was deep in her research, eyes glued to the data streaming across her screen. "This pathogen behaves like a hybrid bacterium," she noted, her mind racing with possibilities. "It's thriving in this moon's unique atmosphere." General Qatar approached, his skepticism evident. "You claim to understand, but do you really know what you're dealing with?" Dr. Wong met his gaze. "Not fully, but we're getting closer. We need to work together to beat this." Reluctantly, Qatar shared more about their medical history and environmental conditions. This new data proved invaluable. Dr. Wong began to see patterns in the illness, a puzzle slowly coming together. As the days wore on, the team's efforts began to show promise. They discovered that the pathogen was not just a hybrid bacterium, but also had properties of a viral agent, making it exceptionally resilient. Dr. Wong hypothesized that a multifaceted approach was needed, one that combined human and alien medical practices. Nurse Hayes continued to bridge the gap between cultures. He found himself learning alien medicinal practices, exchanging knowledge with the Xalorian medics. This exchange of ideas fostered a deeper understanding and respect between the two groups. One evening, as the twin moons cast an eerie glow over the camp, Dr. Wong gathered her team. "We've identified a potential treatment. It's a blend of our medicines and their traditional remedies. We'll need to administer it carefully and monitor the patients closely." General Qatar listened, his expression unreadable. "You're risking my crew's lives with an untested treatment." Dr. Wong's voice was steady. "It's the best chance we have. We've seen positive results in the lab, but we need your trust." The first round of treatments was tense. Dr. Wong and her team moved from patient to patient, administering the blend and recording the responses meticulously. Hours felt like days as they waited for signs of improvement. Slowly, signs of recovery began to appear. The critical patients started to stabilize, their vital signs improving. A sense of cautious optimism spread through the camp. General Qatar approached Dr. Wong, his tone begrudgingly respectful. "It seems your methods are working, Doctor." Dr. Wong nodded, exhaustion and relief evident on her face. "We're not out of the woods yet, but this is a good start." Nurse Hayes, seeing the improved conditions, felt a surge of pride. "We're making progress," he said to the recovering patients. "Just hold on a bit longer." Just as hope seemed within reach, disaster struck. A sudden outbreak erupted among the alien crew, spreading with terrifying speed. Panic rippled through the camp as more and more aliens fell ill. The medical bay was overwhelmed, and the once promising progress appeared to be in jeopardy. Dr. Emily Wong's voice cut through the chaos. "We need to contain this now." She directed her team with precision, implementing quarantine measures and doubling their efforts in the lab. The atmosphere was tense, each second feeling like an hour. General Qatar stormed into the lab, his face a mask of fury. "Your presence has only worsened the situation," he accused, his voice booming with anger. Dr. Wong met his glare, her resolve unwavering. "We're on the brink of a solution. Trust me, General. We can turn this around." Despite the mounting pressure, Nurse Ian Hayes continued his compassionate care, calming frightened patients and ensuring they adhered to the new protocols. His dedication inspired both the human and alien teams, fostering a spirit of resilience. In the lab, Dr. Wong was relentless. She pored over the data, looking for any missed details. The hybrid pathogen required a multifaceted approach. She realized that the key might lie in a piece of alien folklore. Nurse Hayes had mentioned a plant with supposed healing properties. She called Hayes over. "Tell me more about that plant you mentioned." Hayes nodded. "The Xalorians believe it has powerful medicinal qualities. They call it tarlon. We could try synthesizing it with our antibiotics." With no time to lose, Dr. Wong coordinated with the alien medics to gather samples of tarlon. The team worked around the clock, extracting and testing compounds. Their combined knowledge led to the creation of a new treatment protocol, blending human and alien medical science. The first patients to receive the new treatment were in critical condition. Dr. Wong and her team administered the blend carefully, monitoring every reaction. Hours stretched into an agonizing wait. The camp held its collective breath, hoping for a miracle. Slowly, signs of improvement began to emerge. Patients stabilized, their breathing eased, and their vitals strengthened. The new treatment was working. A wave of relief washed over the camp, but there was no time to celebrate. General Qatar approached Dr. Wong, his anger tempered by cautious hope. "You seem to have found something that works," he admitted grudgingly. "It's a start," Dr. Wong replied, exhaustion lining her face. "We need to refine it, ensure its efficacy, but we're on the right track." The medical team continued to administer the treatment, their efforts now fueled by renewed optimism. As more patients recovered, the mood in the camp shifted from desperation to hope. The bond between the humans and the Xalorians grew stronger with each success. Nurse Hayes moved through the recovering patients, his presence a comforting reminder of the progress they'd made. "Just a bit longer," he encouraged. "We're almost there." Dr. Wong's focus never wavered. She worked alongside her team, refining the treatment and ensuring every detail was perfect. The outbreak had tested them all, but it also solidified their determination to succeed. With the outbreak finally under control, the camp settled into a cautious rhythm of recovery. The hybrid treatment was proving effective, and more patients were stabilizing each day. Dr. Emily Wong and her team worked tirelessly, refining the treatment and ensuring that every patient received the care they needed. General Qatar approached Dr. Wong one evening, his expression a mixture of gratitude and lingering skepticism. "You've done what I thought was impossible, doctor," he admitted, his voice softer than she'd ever heard it. "It was a team effort," Dr. Wong replied, glancing at Nurse Ian Hayes, who was surrounded by grateful Xalorians. Trust and cooperation made this possible. The success of the treatment had not only saved lives, but also fostered a newfound respect between the humans and the Xalorians. Nurse Hayes had become a symbol of this bridge, his empathy and dedication breaking down barriers that once seemed insurmountable. As the days turned into weeks, the camp's atmosphere lightened. Patients who had been on the brink of death were now walking, talking, and even smiling. The once desolate medical bay was now a place of hope and recovery. Dr. Wong called a meeting with her team and the Xalorian medics. "We need to document this treatment protocol thoroughly," she said. "It could be crucial for future outbreaks, and it's a testament to what we can achieve together." General Qatar nodded in agreement. "We will share our knowledge with your people, Doctor. This alliance has proven beneficial for us all." The sense of unity was palpable. The humans and Xalorians worked side by side, not as strangers but as allies. They shared stories, meals, and even laughter, each interaction strengthening the bonds formed during the crisis. One day, as Dr. Wong reviewed the latest recovery data, a transmission came through from Earth. The voice of Admiral Jensen filled the room. "Dr. Wong, we've been monitoring your progress. The Council wishes to commend you and your team. Your work here is exemplary." Dr. Wong felt a surge of pride. "Thank you, Admiral. It's been a collective effort." We're arranging for supplies and additional medical teams to support you, Admiral Jensen continued. Your collaboration with the Xalorians will serve as a model for future interspecies cooperation. As the transmission ended, Dr. Wong turned to her team. We've set a precedent here. This is just the beginning. Nurse Hayes approached, his eyes bright with excitement. I've been talking with the Xalorian medics. They have incredible knowledge about natural remedies we've never even considered. There's so much we can learn from each other. General Katar joined them, his demeanor now one of respect and camaraderie. Your people have shown great courage and compassion. I underestimated you, and for that I apologize. Dr. Wong smiled. We've all learned a lot, General. The important thing is that we move forward together. As the Xalorian fleet prepared to leave the moon, there was a sense of bittersweet farewell. The humans and Xalorians exchanged contact information, promising to stay in touch and continue their collaboration.